So yesterday I was reading my book, which is The Beauty Myth by Naomi Wolf, when I stumbled across a newspaper cutting which had been put in there by my mum 25 years ago, which was an article written for The Guardian by Naomi Wolf. It was focusing on the William Kennedy Smith trial and about how people blamed the victim for being out late at night at a bar at 3 a.m. basically placing the blame on the victim rather than on the rapist. And it was quite a high-profile case because William Kennedy Smith was the nephew of John F. Kennedy, who was the President of the United States, which meant it was a big deal that he'd been accused of raping by this woman, Patricia Baumann. What made the article so interesting for me was that it really reminded me of modern-day cases, especially the Stanford rape case with Brock Turner, who without a doubt raped this woman. Today I'll be discussing whether I think anything has changed in 25 years since 1991 to 2016. The first thing that I thought was interesting was the victim blaming. So with the Smith case, the most asked question when she did interviews was what she was doing out at a bar at 3 a.m. and the idea that she was a bad girl asking to be raped and that a good girl would be at home and a good girl would not get raped, which is one of the key things in the article because she talks about the double standard. She said, "Yes, I was out late with friends, but so was he. The issue of what I was doing has nothing to do with what happened to me from that man." That clearly shows the double standards, the fact that both of them were out at 3 a.m. in a bar drinking with friends, but that somehow it seemed acceptable for William Kennedy Smith to be at that bar, but Patricia Baumann, who was the person who accused him of rape, it was seen as unacceptable, and just the double standard of that and how that still exists in society today. In the case with Brock Turner, so the 2016 case, Dan Turner, so his father, made some really appalling comments. Turner's father said that the sentencing for Brock Turner was a steep price to pay for 20 minutes of action, which shows a huge lack of interest on the effects on the victim, which I thought was disgusting. Additionally, Dan Turner, the father of the rapist in the 2016 case, said that Brock had been deeply altered forever and that his every waking minute is consumed with worry, anxiety, fear and depression, which I just thought was so ironic because he does not take into account the effects of the victim at all, and that the effects of rapes are still not taken seriously. And the courtroom is more interested in the rapist rather than the victim again. And in society, the majority of people recognise the effects of rape on a victim, but that in the courtroom, he was given a lesser sentence because of the effect of what he committed on him, rather than considering the effect of what he committed on the victim, who have suffered innocently. The other similarity between the two cases was that Brock Turner, the 2016 rapist, was given a 14-year sentence, which was then reduced to 6 months and has now been reduced to what they think will only be 3 months in prison, because Judge Aaron Persky said that his positive character references and his lack of criminal record had persuaded him to be more lenient and that a prison sentence would have a severe impact on him, which again I just thought was disgusting. I was still rapist sympathising, as Brock was held in high esteem because he was a white male college graduate and able to get away with it in the same way that William Kennedy Smith had much more lenience in his sentencing because he was white and he was a college graduate and the son of powerful people. Equally, there have been some changes. So for instance, in social media, people have spoken out about sentencing for Brock Turner. It shows that we can make an impact. But then equally, people had to speak out about the case for there to even be an impact. No, it should come automatically, so there still needs to be changes. What I thought was most important to draw from this was a quote from the article, which is, "We should speak up in solidarity with our anonymous heroines," which is a value that's still important today. I'll leave some links below to some more information on both cases and on my opinion.